Hello and welcome to the third module of our online course on fecal sludge management. My name is Meena and today we are going to discuss about the different means and methods available for collection and transportation of fecal sludge. Collection and transportation makes a critical link in the service chain of fecal sludge management to complete the whole sanitation process. In fact, fecal sludge management involves three important steps. First one is the collection, then transportation, and finally the treatment of fecal sludge generated by on-site sanitation facilities like pit latrines and septic tank. As per certain codes and manuals, in India, the on-site sanitation facilities are required to be emptied or desludged once in a year, and if that is not possible, then it must be done at least once in 2 or 3 years without being desludged in the recommended time frame. These on-site sanitation systems cannot function properly and significantly contribute to the degradation of quality of environment. Hence, collection and transportation become vital part of fecal sludge management. In most part of the country, private agencies as well as the municipal bodies of the government provide these services to the society. These service providers have some typical duties and responsibilities such as interfacing with clients, locating the system to be emptied, determining accessibility, and the tools of the trade. During interfacing with clients for the first time, the service providers discuss with the customer about the arrangement of logistics. Besides that, it is responsibility of the service provider to give some basic information to the customer about the procedure of desludging, why it is necessary, and what are the advantages of desludging. The service provider is expected to be courteous and to ensure the highest level of hygiene during the procedure. The next step is to locate the sanitation system to be emptied. Obviously, the service provider can directly ask the customer about the location, else he can himself look for the obvious indicators like manholes, tank lids, or exposed concrete slabs. After locating the system, the next responsibility of the service provider is to determine how the system can be accessed to accommodate equipments needed to carry out the process. Last one is the tool of the trade, where the service provider has to select the tool required to carry out the whole process of desludging and transportation. It should be ensured that all the tools are in good condition before starting the processor. Generally, there is a wide range of fecal sludge collection technologies available, which can be categorized into manual collection technology, manually operated mechanical collection technology, and fully mechanized collection technologies. In manual collection techniques, generally the fecal sludge is collected with buckets or shovels, which is an unsafe and unhygienic practice. Mostly, it requires the worker to enter the on-site sanitation system to remove the fecal sludge. Although this technique is relatively unhygienic, but it is an important part of providing fecal sludge management services to the low income group of people. There is an advantage of this technology that the thick sludge can also be easily collected using these techniques, which is often a difficult task to do with the mechanical collection equipments. For the fulfillment of minimum safety standards during these processes, licensing, training, and capacity development can play an important role to ensure safety and hygiene of the service provider and the community. For example, it is important to ensure that the service providers wear protective gloves, boots, hats, face masks, uniforms, and tools for safe handling of sludge. Presently, under the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act in 2013, desludging of fecal sludge collection from the sanitation system is to be undertaken by mechanical devices, which may be a manually operated or fully mechanized, like suction emptier truck and vacuum tankers. Because in comparison to manual technique, the mechanical devices increase the safety and hygiene by preventing human contact with the fecal sludge during its collection and transportation. Commonly used manually operated mechanical pumping equipments for fecal sludge collections are the sludge gulfer, diaphragm pumps, nibbler, and manual pit emptying technologies. With the help of mechanical devices, service providers can efficiently collect the fecal sludge from the on-site sanitation facilities at a faster rate while maintaining all the safety measures. Fully mechanized collection techniques are powered by electricity, fuel, or pneumatic systems. These devices are mounted on a frame or trolley for increased mobility or mounted on vehicles for collecting and transporting large quantity of fecal sludge over a long distance. Commonly available fully mechanized equipments are motorized diaphragm pumps, trash pumps, and some type of vehicle mounted vacuum equipments. These mechanical equipments, which are either manually operated or powered by electricity or fuel, can collect a large amount of sludge per day as compared to the sludge collected through manual equipments. Collection and transportation are two important sequential activities where the collected sludge is conveyed to the fecal sludge treatment plant by using different transportation facilities. The transportation facilities can be divided into two categories: manual transport and motorized transport. As it is obvious from the name itself that in manual transport, sludge is manually transported by using small scale equipments which is propelled by human or animal power. Generally, manually collected sludge is pumped into drums and transported by trolleys, carts, or on pickups as shown here. The capacity of these barrels normally vary from 100 to 200 liters. Since manual low-cost transport equipments generally have a small load capacity and have a limited and low travel range, these are not suitable for long-distance transport. Generally, the manual transport equipments are not able to transport the collected fecal sludge up to the treatment plant, as the treatment plant are mostly located far away from the place of collection. On the other hand, in motorized techniques, fecal sludge is transported by motorized equipments powered by fuel or electricity. These motorized equipment have the potential for large load capacity and increased speed, which ultimately leads to reduced travel time and a greater range as compared to manual transport. The pump mounted on tractor and trucks is the most common mechanical collection technologies, which allows transportation of the collected sludge over long distances. The vacuum devices pump the sludge through hose into a tank. The common sizes of these tanks, which are mounted on tractor or truck, vary from 2 and 20 cubic meters. Sometimes these large size mechanical transport vehicles are not suitable for accessing the on-site sanitation facilities that can only be accessed through narrow road and alleys. For such area, a smaller truck with a capacity of 0.5 and 2 cubic meter may be useful to transport the collected fecal sludge to the treatment facilities. In practice, different aspects of fecal sludge transportation have to be considered, like type of vehicle to be used, type of sludge removal equipments, spill management equipments to be used, skilled operators, procedures that need to be followed, and some other important factors like location of fecal sludge treatment plant, workers' health and safety, and emerging technologies. Another important factor that need to be considered for fecal sludge transportation is the location of transfer stations. Transfer stations are basically the intermediate drop-off location and are often used if the treatment plant are located too far from the place of collection to make direct disposal possible. If there is heavy traffic or heavy vehicle are not allowed during the day hours, and if significant percentage of the homes cannot be accessed through the mechanized vehicle. Finally, to sum up, different collection and transportation technologies have their own advantages, disadvantages, and challenges. The mechanical collection and transport technologies are only suitable for the sludge with a low solid content and the on-site sanitation facilities which are easily accessible. But in case of sludge with high solid content, such as from pit latrines and the location that can be accessed only through narrow lanes, manual collection and transportation technologies are the better option. The manual collection and transportation technique can be used for collection of smaller volume only. Also, the transportation to distant fecal sludge treatment plant is a big challenge while using manual techniques. Therefore, while considering the sludge volume, manual techniques are more expensive than the mechanical one. So, that's all in this session. Thank you for your attention.